Welcome to Heart of the Homestead family. I'm Heidi.
I'm Sarah.
Caroline.
And I'm Allie.
Join us as we talk about all things homesteading.
Okay, we're back for a Homestead update because it has been a crazy month. May has been all over the place in Southwestern Ontario. The weather has been atrocious.
Yes.
I don't know if there's a better word for that, but
A roller coaster.
yes.
Like not atrocious in just one direction.
No,
Right.
we've had a
Yes.
bit of everything for sure.
Yeah, like we had the long weekend just passed, and it was so hot, got like 30 degrees Celsius.
Mhm. Yep.
And then tonight we have freezing temperatures. Like if you guys planted your tomatoes or peppers or the sensitive stuff, you better have them covered because tonight's cold weather.
Yeah.
So, and then we had like tornado warnings the other day, and we are not in Tornado Alley at all.
No. No, the second time this month that
Yep.
we've had the tornado warnings.
Yes. Yeah, the weather has been, luckily we didn't get any tornadoes, just really high winds and
Yeah.
torrential downpours.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was out doing my chores, supper chores, and I saw the clouds coming, and I'm trying to book it, trying to get everybody, and I had just one more animal to feed and the torrential downpour. And so I sat in the barn going, okay, well, I'll just sit here until the torrential downpour stops. And then remembered we had all the windows open in the house because it was so hot. And I'm not turning the air conditioning on already.
Oh, no.
And so I booked it to the house. I was soaking wet, but so was my couch and floors. Everything else. But yeah, they just, storms have been coming and the weather has been jumping up and down. And
Yeah.
so I'm going to get my cold props in the next couple days.
Yeah.
Because that would be safe.
Yes.
Are you guys getting anything in the next few days or waiting it out?
Maybe I'm gonna try
Yeah.
and do cold crops. We'll say that I haven't been overly successful in actually getting things in my garden yet this year. I think I did in early May, and I think since then it has not really been touched. So
And you have the garden ready?
it is ready to go. It's prepped and ready to go. Well, it was like 2 weeks ago. So there's
Re-prepped.
there's that. There may be some re-prepping.
Yeah, it's amazing how many weeks come in the
In that period of time. Yeah. But yeah, we're getting there. Maybe, I don't know. I generally don't plant any of my warm things. I say on purpose. It's not on purpose.
Yeah.
Until June, because then you know that it's
You're safe.
You're safe.
You're not going to be going out there with buckets or blankets or
No. And so that's just my justification of why I
Yes.
don't plant until so late.
Good idea,
Yeah.
especially this year.
Yeah. I generally take more risks when it comes to planting things a little bit earlier than some people would feel comfortable with. But I don't mind the buckets. Like, I don't mind having to go out there and set the buckets down, go get them in the morning. I don't have to worry too much about them getting too hot first thing in the morning because my garden is shaded in the morning. So I'm not really in a rush. But this year, because it's been so windy, I have held off on that because I'm nervous that the buckets will just get knocked over in the night.
Yes.
So that will ruin it all. But yeah, I would have them planted by now. Like, at least my tomatoes. Maybe not the peppers and eggplants. I usually put those off maybe about a week longer than the tomatoes. The sign that I wait for the peppers and eggplants is for my irises to blossom.
Okay.
Mine have just started.
And no, mine have not. Mine are not even close. So we'll see on that one.
Yeah, it was the last 2 warm days that we had that they just started to open up, but I'm still not gonna plant yet.
No. I've put in some of my like Brussels sprouts and cabbages. I did plant some of my squashes the other day, which I know is a little bit risky, but I was just planting the seeds in the ground.
By the time they appear, hopefully.
Yes, so I figure that by the time they're out of the ground, these next couple of cool nights will be past because they'll probably take close to a week or longer to germinate. So I think they'll be safely tucked in until then. Same with my zucchinis and my cucumbers. I did those as well too. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, and some things they want your soil to be a certain temperature too.
Yeah.
But with our really hot days that we had, I think your soil's up to that.
I sure hope so.
Yeah. Yes, I did. After that episode that we talked about, like watching the the moon and the flowers and all those things on when to plant.
Mhm.
Said the potatoes could be planted way earlier than I thought. So
Yeah.
I got those all planted, and just in the last few days, they all like shot up.
Yeah.
With that heat and all the rain and stuff. So
Yeah, I just
That's
noticed
looking nice.
my potatoes sticking up above the soil a little bit just this morning.
I'll check on mine.
yeah, it's nice to see that come up. And my early bed that I planted, like the carrots and peas and lettuce and stuff, some of it's come up, some of it's hopefully still there and wants to come up.
Yeah.
Next is the next couple days, I have trays and trays of seedlings that will go into the ground and get that going. So we just had a long weekend. Victoria long weekend gives us a Monday off. My kids only know it's a holiday because they go to school and they get a day off, but it is not a day off. Any holidays from like April to October, my kids don't get. And this time they all invited a friend over or two that wanted to work on a farm. And it helps my kids to be more motivated. It teaches those kids some skills. We give them a little money and we get a lot done. So Monday we got a lot of things done, especially the things that are not in like the 20 acres that I see all the time. All the things that get ignored, like hairs by the pond and the trees that have fallen down and we cut up, but all the logs need to be collected and they all need to be split. So we had like teams everywhere on the property just going and doing the jobs. So not even like my gardens didn't get touched or anything where we are all the time. It was all that other stuff.
But that's handy, like to have extra helpers on that day just to get so much of it done at once and be able to move on.
Yeah, it was wonderful just to attack it. So that was good. And you now have a greenhouse and some raised beds.
I do, yes. So the greenhouse is very much a learning curve for me. So we're trying it out. I did plant some of my tomatoes in there, thinking that they won't be touched by the frost in there. I'm safe. Then it got so hot in there that they started frying. So I was trying to keep the doors propped open in the strong winds so that they would have a little bit of fresh air and not be 40 degrees in there.
Yes.
But I think they're okay. Some of the leaves are a little withered, but I was trying to make sure to water them often. And otherwise, what I've got planted in there is mostly beans. Some for fresh eating, but a lot that will just be dry beans, like my kidney beans and my navy beans. And a new one that I tried this year, which apparently is very much like a kidney bean, but it's called Jacob's Cattle.
Oh, I've
heard of that one before.
Yeah.
So I figured that's a good first thing to plant in my greenhouse because of the type of plant. Like the legume plants will fix nitrogen into the soil. So because it's not, I didn't really have like a ton of compost to just like fill the whole thing with compost. We were just using dirt from the back of our property. So I thought this isn't like maybe the best quality growing material for them. So I thought that made sense as a good first step. And also I have a lot of bean seeds because they're so easy to save that I feel like if I change my mind and I have to take out a few of the plants to make room for something else I'd rather grow there, it won't be a huge loss to lose a few bean plants here and there.
Yeah.
I'll still get a lot of beans. And it's not like I spent, some things, it's almost $1 a seed when you're buying them from a seed catalog, right? So it's not going to be a financial hit if I have to take some of those out. But it is interesting. I'm learning. I'm learning that it gets very hot in there.
Yes. Greenhouses are tricky.
Yeah.
I wanted to get lettuce planted like months ago in the greenhouse. And then by the time I got around to it, it was already too hot in the greenhouse to have lettuce going. It would have just bolted. So, and then just monitoring it for the cold and the heat and but it's really nice I try to do tomatoes and peppers in there, just a few plants of each so that I continue those until like October, November. When the other ones outside had died off.
That's what I'm hoping. I did my indeterminates in there because those do naturally have a longer life too. So, because last year some of my plants that I had outside, my determinates, they were just, and most years really, they're just kind of done producing tomatoes before the frost even comes, which is fine and great for when you're making things like sauce and salsa. But if you just want tomatoes for fresh eating longer into the fall, then the indeterminates in the greenhouse seems to make the most sense.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, I might put some of my peppers in there too, because some years I find that my peppers just aren't getting their color. They'll get to their size, then they'll still be green, and then we're getting frost warnings.
Yes.
And then they struggle to ever color up the way I'm hoping that they will, even if I'm covering them at night. And then by that point, they're so much bigger. So that is a bit of a struggle too. I don't know if you guys struggle with getting peppers to actually mature before it starts to get cold again. But
I plant mine in black tarp, so there's even more heat.
I've never done that.
And I get all the colors.
Well, I got some from you last year because mine were struggling, so I just bought from you.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Locally source it.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's what we're trying.
Yeah.
And then the raised beds. That's the other new thing that's still a lot of a work in progress.
Just filling them is, once you got them there, that's a job. And then filling them is a whole other job.
Yes, and I have somewhat outsourced that. I outsourced the building of them, which was great. And the spacing and, squaring them to the rest of the garden, since they will be pretty permanent. I want them to be lined up. So we started filling them like as if we're doing like a hugelkultur bed. So if you've done that before, you start with wood, and then you're adding other layers of organic material. So mine have leaves that were collected last fall and just put in a big pile, and they just stayed there all winter. Some compost, some manure, and some grass clippings. So I've filled them like most of the way with those, and then I'm just adding the dirt on top, which is sort of trickling in. But sometimes, man, I'll put like 7 or 8 shovelfuls in the same spot, and it just goes and it keeps going, and I don't know where it's disappearing to, but I feel like I'm not making any progress with filling the beds. And then the one that is done already that I planted in, there were a couple times where I would go to dig a hole to put something there, and it just was caving in on me. So I obviously found an air pocket, and after like several times of thinking like, okay, I'll just sort of let this settle. No, I just moved on, and I planted it like 6 inches over. So my spacing is not beautiful because I was just avoiding air pockets.
Yes, works.
But I'll fill in the space. I planted some squash in that bed too, so hopefully they kind of fill in and nobody notices. But it's a big job to fill the raised beds because there's just so much volume. So whether you're doing it with all dirt, whether you're getting like triple mix or something brought in, it's still a lot of shoveling.
Yes, and I suggest if you want to put in raised beds next year, start your piles of sticks, brush, leaves now, because you don't want to pay a ton of money for the dirt just to fill those. When you can fill at least half to 3/4 of just the brush that's on your property. Logs, if you cut up a tree, you could put logs in the bottom, and they slowly will disintegrate, adding great nutrients too. Yeah,
and another benefit I've heard of the wood in there too is that it holds some of the moisture, which can be a challenge with raised beds drying out fast. So, I mean, eventually those will totally decompose, and I won't really have the benefit of logs in the bottom after several years, but
it'll take a while.
It takes a while, so I'm hoping for that extra benefit. Not only that it was free material to fill it with, because that made sense to me to just try and fill it with stuff that we already have on our property.
Absolutely.
I know exactly what's in it, and it doesn't cost me any extra money. I've already paid for the raised beds. We got the galvanized steel ones, and I figured I didn't need to make this a super expensive project by also paying to fill them.
Yes. We have 4 raised beds here that are starting. The sides are just starting to disintegrate. So we're going to have to put new ones in probably later fall or spring, whenever the project gets done. It'll be interesting when I take them apart how much stuff has broken down in the bottom of that.
How long have they been?
5 years. Okay. 4 or 5. I'll have to look back into when I started taking pictures of my new raised beds. My camera tells me all dates.
Yes, that's handy.
But yeah, one of the things on our future job too. So yeah, that'll be exciting to start growing in those.
Yeah, I was told by my daughter that it looks like a real garden.
Yes.
Said it's been a real garden for years. It was just, in the ground.
Yes. Yeah. looking pretty nice out there.
Yeah.
This episode is sponsored by Generations Marketplace and Learning Center. Come on out from May to December to purchase homegrown food, check out our classes, and take a farm tour. You can see everything on Instagram, Facebook, and on our website. There's some things that we have been able to start harvesting early in the season. I know our rhubarb has been coming off like crazy. We have asparagus too. Well, the asparagus, it gets hit by frost. So when there's a good frost, it kills all the asparagus, and you're starting all over again with it, waiting for it to grow again. So we'll see. I just harvested it all today, hoping that the next 2 days the frost won't be a problem. And then we grow shiitake mushrooms in logs, so we've been harvesting those. What else have you been harvesting already?
We had some morels in our woods, so we got some of those. Thinking about this, I need to go and get some stinging nettle because my stores are getting low. So it's a perfect time to do that too.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we use that a lot at the house. We missed fiddleheads this year. I wasn't out back, and then all of a sudden they're too curled.
Yes.
So we missed those this year. But yeah, that's really all I've been. Rhubarb.
Yeah, I've got some stinging nettle already. Most of what I've been harvesting has been perennial herb type things, like some of them that I planted on purpose and some that just grow wild, like the stinging nettle. I didn't plant stinging nettle. I've been meaning to get some burdock too, but I haven't got around to that yet. But I've got some dandelions. So we did some dandelion jelly, and also I've been harvesting the greens to go with salad. Usually I don't do like just dandelion greens, but if I have other greens, I'll just add my dandelions to it. And just today I was getting raspberry leaves. My raspberry plants are far enough along that I don't feel like I'm being mean to them by taking too many of their leaves, because obviously they need to have some leaves on them still if they're going to produce berries. So I try and just take, a few from each plant, and then I move on and I move my way down the row. Some oregano and some thyme.
What are you going to be doing with these raspberry leaves?
Oh, the raspberry leaves I mostly use for tea.
Okay, you dry them out then, and then okay.
Yeah, they're they have the reputation for being like the tea that people drink when the ladies drink when they're pregnant, right? Like near the end,
Towards the end
of their pregnancy. Yeah, but I've heard more recently that it can be good for lots of things. That it can be calming, and it's just generally a good tea for women, and has lots of nutrients in it. Not quite as potent as stinging nettle, but I think it has some similar properties. So
does that have a raspberry flavor to it? Or
not really? No, it kind of doesn't have a lot of flavor, to be honest. Usually I put it with something else, or I'll put some honey in the tea if it's just raspberry.
Yeah.
But it's not an offensive flavor. Like some things are kind of bland in a bad way, but this is just mild, I would say. You can make an iced tea out of it too, to drink in the summer. And then that you could sweeten, and it would be delicious. So yeah, since it's something that I have bought in the past, I figured I can just pick my own raspberry leaves. It's actually not that hard. Sometimes it just doesn't click right away.
Yeah. You're like, oh, that is right outside the door.
Yeah. And a little bit of wormwood, and that might be it. Sage. Did I say that already? No. We have some sage. That's basically it for right now.
Nice.
Yeah.
You're reminding me of all the herbs that I have out there that I haven't harvested yet.
I know. I keep just going out and just like wandering around with a bowl and seeing what I find.
Oh, nice.
But I have to remember not to get too many different things in the bowl, or then it takes me 10 minutes to sort it out once I get back to the kitchen. So I try and keep things that are easily recognizable from each other, and not picking things that are too similar and then wondering, oh darn, which one was best?
I did look at my lovage bush the other day, and it's doing really well, so I'm going to try to harvest that and get it. It's like celery, so get that into the freezer now before I forget and it's already gotten too big and woody. And
so what does that look like? Because I put some in on your and Sarah's recommendation, but I don't actually know what to expect it to grow into.
Celery. It's like
it looks
bushy celery.
So
bush.
It's like stalks.
Yeah. So individual stalks. It won't be like a grouping of stalks like celery is.
Okay.
It'll be just individual stalks, but it'll be a nice bush of them.
And then do you cut just the leaves off, or is there also like the stalk and you put all that in whatever you're making?
Yeah. It's can be eaten like a raw celery stick, but it doesn't have as much flavor as a celery. Much celery doesn't have much flavor either. But
It doesn't have as much flavor as celery.
But I know I don't eat celery, so
Okay.
it kind of resembles celery, but it can be used instead of celery in a lot of recipes. And celery costs a fortune, so
It does.
you can grow it as a perennial and it keeps coming back.
Yeah.
This is the way to do it.
If it's not as strong as celery, I wonder if my daughter would like it. She's not a fan of, she liked raw celery, but not cooked celery. So for soups and all those kind of things that you put celery as part of your base in,
Okay.
she'll do that.
Maybe.
We'll have to try some lunch.
Yeah. Highly recommend.
Yeah.
Another thing that is growing like crazy, the grass.
Yes.
Oh my, I can't believe how many
Yeah.
times I've cut already. And well, we have dandelions. The dandelions shoot up before, like, 5 seconds after you
Yes.
the grass.
Yeah, it looks great. And then the dandelions are there again.
And now every year I try to have less and less grass to cut by putting in more gardens or by moving animals strategically so that if there's like a mass amount of grass area that doesn't have something on it right now, get temporary fences so that the animals can move on that grass and they be the ones eating it instead of using machines to cut it.
Yeah.
So trying to do that, it just takes work to move fences and move animals. Yeah, and then we'll have a chicken tractor that will go along the grass too, and that'll fertilize it and make it grow faster.
Right.
But once you have your routine of doing the fencing, then you're saving all the time that you would be spent mowing the grass.
Yeah,
So
and
that's
I'm
good.
feeding my animals
Yeah.
good nutrients. So it will work once we got a good system in place.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, Sarah's not here today because she's crazy busy over at the farm. They just had a plant sale because she does a lot of growing her own seedlings. So she does all mine. She does such a wonderful job. Hey, Sarah, great job. Your plants are amazing. And she had a very busy weekend with that.
Yes.
Because the long weekend is your like prime time to get your plants and stuff. And with warning, don't plant them yet.
Right. Yeah. This year. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So been busy doing that. We've also opened our marketplace for the public again this year. We're down to 2 days a week. We used to be open 5 days, down to 2. And in the next podcast, we're going to talk about dealing with overwhelm. And one of those ways is decreasing hours so I can have time to do the other things that are important too. So luckily, my customers have been very understanding and have accommodated and will come the 2 days that we are open. So that has been really nice. And then tours. We've had so many tours last week, which is great. So many people coming out to the farm and made a birthday party too. And just the questions that they are getting it's great. There's a lot of not knowledge about farms, and I love sharing that knowledge so that they now know like how food is grown and raised.
Yeah.
So that's been fun. I love it when we're going to get some schools coming out in the next month and bring them around to the gardens and stuff too, and letting them see how stuff grows. So yeah, we're busy with that right now and keeping things going and harvesting. And you've opened for your season again.
We have. So when you talk about long grass and grass cutting, we've gone around our yard with the orchard mower. So it's much rougher and much longer because it was well over 1.5 feet long. Because we've been setting up for our glamping sites, and that takes
doing other things.
our top priority. So thankfully we have a company that helps us with the pretty side of Homegrown Hideaway. But for our side, for our home side, it got pretty long because it got pretty neglected. But yes, we opened on the weekend and it was a successful weekend. People seemed to be happy. Gives them a place to be outside in nature, especially the people that are coming from more metropolis areas that don't necessarily have the trees or the grass or the So it was
Nice.
But well,
it is good. Yep. Good. Anything else happened in the last month that touch on?
That covers
it,
really.
Awesome. Well, all the best with you, and then the next couple weeks as garden season is starting.
Almost
Maybe.
We're so
Possibly.
close. We're so close.
As you get your gardens prepped and you start getting things in the garden, just watch the weather. Don't work too fast.
Yep.
But you have time. You still have a few weeks to get everything in to make sure that the tomatoes are ready by the time
You'll
the next frost comes.
You'll still get tomatoes if you wait a little longer.
Yes, yes, you'll be fine. So all the best to you. Thank you for listening today.
For more information about the podcast today, visit us at heartofthehomesteadfamily.ca. You can also check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Plus, send us an email with your questions and comments. Enjoy filling your hearts and your jars.